If you're watching this, you probably speak some English. And statistically, you do. There are billions of people on the other side of the planet who have spent up to 10 years trying to learn the exact language you're speaking right now. You know, the most hardworking students in the world. So, how do they learn it? Hi, I'm Leo. Today we're going to talk about how Chinese people learn English. In this video, I will introduce my experience as somebody who was born in the 90s, the mainstream learning methods of the last few decades, and some recent changes for kids nowadays. Let's start with a test, an experiment. If you have a Chinese friend who went through the public school system in China, ask them this. What is the textbook correct answer for how are you? And I bet you 99% of them will say, I'm fine, thank you. And you? Pay attention to the Holy Trinity here. I'm fine, thank you. And you? All three parts, no skips. You cannot just say, good. That's illegal. You have to say, I'm fine, thank you. And you? It's our muscle memory for decades. I was born in the 90s, and like pretty much everyone else from that time, I went to public school. For a huge chunk of the population, learning English started right there, with that one standard answer. Back then, we didn't have those fancy reading pens or instant dictionary apps on our phones. I didn't even get a mobile dictionary until middle school. What we did have was this big, heavy tape player in every classroom. The teacher would just hit play over and over again, and we'd repeat whatever we heard. Problem was, we had no idea what that foreign accent was saying. It all sounded kind of blurry, you know? So, to survive the teacher's checks, we came up with our own trick. We used Chinese characters to fake the pronunciation. For example, language would turn into something like 蓝个位机, 蓝个位机. And lunch became 浪吃, lunch. Looking back at my old primary school textbooks now, I honestly laugh every time. And here's the funny part. Now, I am a Chinese teacher. One day, I saw my student doing the exact same thing, just the other way around. 你好 became 你好. And at that moment, I just felt weirdly relieved. Like, yeah, no matter where you're from, humans deal with this kind of learning pain in the exact same way. So let's zoom out a bit and break it down. There's actually a pretty clear system behind all this. Let me walk you through the four main parts of how we learned English in China. The first is the word list. In our English textbooks, every single unit came with a word list. Could be 20 words, could be 50. And one of the most common homework assignments was this. Write each word by hand 10 times, or 20, or more. It doesn't take a genius to see that this exercise had nothing to do with understanding how a word actually works in a real sentence. It was all about one thing. Can you spell it right when someone tests you? That was step one. Burn the spelling into your brain. Why? So you could survive step two. Dictation. Pretty self-explanatory, right? You listen, then you write. The teacher says the Chinese meaning out loud, and you have to spell the English word on your paper. For example, teacher says 星期一, and you scribble down Monday, M-O-N-D-A-Y. And if you made a mistake, oh, you'd be copying the correct word anywhere from 5 to 50 times. Actually, it works pretty well. Like, when you copy the word forget for 50 times, you'll never forget it. If pain is attached to the mistake, your brain will do anything to avoid that pain again. Next, step 3. Memorize the whole damn text. Now, we're leveling up. You'd get a chunk of text from the textbook, maybe a dialogue, maybe a short essay. And you had to memorize the whole thing. And let me be clear, I'm not talking about summarizing the main idea. I mean memorize it word for word. If your teacher was really hardcore, you'd have to do a silent write from memory. That meant you had to remember every single comma and period too. Step 4. Exams for exams for exams. Here's the thing you need to understand about English education in China. It is fundamentally a testing system. Everything about learning English is aimed at one goal: passing exams. Speaking of exams, this next part is probably the most painful for Chinese students and the most interesting for the rest of you. So let me give you a quick rundown of the English Gaokao. A lot of you have probably heard of the Gaokao. If I had to sum it up in one sentence, it's the most important national college entrance exam in mainland China. You could say that your English score directly decides whether you get into your dream university or not. No pressure, just your entire future. Now, you might be curious about what the actual questions look like. Generally speaking, the English Gaokao has a few main sections: listening, reading, language use, and writing. If you're really interested, you can just Google Chinese Gaokao test paper. But for now, I'll show you an example from last year's exam. This is from the 2025 Chinese Gaokao. This section asks you to read the passage and fill in each blank with one appropriate word. Wanna give these 3 questions a shot? Don't worry, no one will judge you if you get it wrong, and at least your life doesn't depend on this one. An exhibition at the Jiushi Art Museum in Shanghai is featuring artwork inspired by Go, or Weiqi in Chinese. Originated in China more than 4,000 years ago. 3, 2, 1. Did you get it right? If you're feeling confident about the rest of blanks, go ahead and drop your answers in the comments. Now, you might be wondering, wait, what about speaking? Do they test if you can actually, talk to someone? And the answer is yes, there is a speaking component. But for the vast majority of provinces, apart from some places like Beijing or Shanghai, spoken English does not count toward your Gaokao score. What matters is, can you look at 4 options, A, B, C, and D, and correctly identify which sentence is grammatically flawless? So here's the result. The average Chinese student spends about a decade learning English. We almost become machines at picking the right grammar answers. We can write a formal, structured essay, okay? Then we get on a plane, land in an English-speaking country, and someone at the airport casually asks, "Hey, how's it going?" And we just freeze. Complete system meltdown. Because "how's it going" wasn't in the textbook. They never taught us how's it going. This isn't proper English. Can you just ask me again? Please, just say, "How are you?" I have a script for that. But hey, all that stuff I just described, that's from over a decade ago. It's been a long time since I took the Gaokao. So I got really curious. Have things changed for kids these days? Are they still suffering as much as we did? To find out, I talked to my nephew and stole his English textbook. He's in elementary school right now. This is the book he used in 3rd grade. Let's take a look. This is lesson 1. You can see they let you listen and repeat. They write the basic letters and chant some cute conversations. I smile, I listen, I help, I share. I'm quite interested in this text discussing what makes a good friend. I think it's vital for an 8-year-old kid to think about. It's a great part. They start way ahead where we did. They've got iPads with interactive reading pens. They've got live streaming classes with foreign teachers. All good stuff. But here's the bad news. The pressure. It's doubled. I swear, the stuff elementary kids have to do right now is way harder than what we faced 20 years ago. For example, they have to give presentations. We never even heard of that when we were kids. We basically just listened to the teacher talking all the time. Now the students have to get up and make a speech too? From what he tells me, I'm somewhat relieved and maybe a little horrified to learn that kids today still have to memorize words and recite entire texts. They just have some new shiny tools to help them suffer through it. Stuff like English drama club or English debate team. The debate topics are things like how will AI change the future?
主要观念是 application to the future technology.
AI can recognize speech, understand images.
AI is like super helper.
It sounds fancy, I'll admit, but I'm pretty sure that when these kids grow up, they'll also moan about the absolute pain of learning a foreign language. Because the pain might get an upgrade, but the complaining never goes out of style. So, yeah, that's how we learn English. A lot of effort and a lot of exams, plus a lot of confusion. It may not be perfect, but it gets the job done. Cool. Hopefully this video is helpful to you. If you're interested in other topics, like how something works in China, drop your ideas in the comments to let me know. I'm Leo. See you next time. Bye for now.